Okay, I've gone ahead and cleared off some space on my table and put some stuff down on it so that it doesn't get all gunky. So the next step is to take off this water pump. So we're going to remove the gear, and I believe these just slide off. Of course, I've got to remove that nut, that flat washer, set that aside, and carefully lift that off. Now, there is a key. There are keys here that are going to want to fall off, so I'm going to have to be very careful about this as I lift it off and set it aside. And, okay, good. The keys are still there. Okay, maybe they're not going to have to come off. So this slides off, counterweight, so we're going to slide that off. And this is where I believe the key likes to pop off, so I need to be very careful. I'm going to pull the key out with it and set that aside over here. In fact, let me get a little paper towel and shop towel and clean that up a little bit. Now these 6 bolts have to come out. Oh, okay, these are all good, so I'm gonna, oh, okay. It might be helpful to have a torque wrench for that. It might be a little easier to break that loose. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Okay, there we go. It's much easier to do. Okay, I think I can just spin that off by hand now. Okay, that's 1 bolt. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one, I'm going to need a little bit extra help. Oh, I didn't break this loose. All right. All right. Okay, so let's grab all 6 of these. I'm going to put them in a baggie. Set that aside. Okay, so now I've got these bearings, Torrington bearings, need to come off. And clean that up a little bit. These are in fine shape. I'm probably going to get another bag for those. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and take this plate off. Put it with this Torrington bearing. And get another one. Pull this other Torrington bearing out. A little tricky to get out. Good. Just take a look at that. Looks fine. That goes underneath. They're the same. Okay, and it looks like another race of some sort. Stuff is really slippery and hard to get out. And then this big ring. Okay, I'm going to set this race aside. Okay, stick that in there. And I'm going to get a small pointy object to kind of lift one side of this giant washer thing out. And maybe another pointy object to get the other side out. Maybe flat object. There we go. That is, tolerance is pretty tight here, so it's going to be a trick. Careful. Alright, so now that this is all, there we go. Let's pull it up. Alright, so that goes underneath. Well, that's fine, we'll just stack it there. Alright, let's have a look. Alright. Some of this oil up because I'm going to flip this over pretty soon, and I just as soon not have too much more oil come out. There will be more oil comes out. We still got this guy here. There's a seal. That seal I'm going to have to probably replace too. Okay. Might be a good time to clean that up, but okay. Okay, so I'm going to have to put these bolts back in. Now the bearings are all out. Now, I guess I didn't have to mark these just yet, because I got to flip that over and then start working on the back. I'm not going to actually take the stationary gears out. There's no need to do that. There's nothing wrong with them. The only thing I need to really worry about is the condition of the housing. And I have high hopes that the housings are both okay. One should be absolutely fine, since nothing happened to it. The rear housing, on the other hand, might have some scratching on it. Imagine there will be some from the bolt that played around inside there before it eventually got ejected out of the exhaust port. But hopefully the damage is minimal and we'll just be able to reuse it. It did make good compression on two faces, or on one face, I should say, which, well, it made good compression on one cycle, which means that two seals were sealing properly. And since that is the case, I have no reason to believe, really, that housing won't be reusable. Okay, that's good enough. So let's go ahead and turn this thing around. It's probably going to make a bit of a mess. So I'm going to set my oil catcher here. And we're going to flip it around. Okay. Yeah, a little bit more oil is dripping out, so looks like now I can start working on these bolts. Okay, good. Set off. Let's go ahead and break it loose. Now there is a pattern you're supposed to do these up in, but basically it's just sort of a crisscross pattern. So I'm just going to undo them in the same way. Yeah. I love these gloves. These are Microflex diamond gloves, and they're just great. They don't tear when you look at them cross-eyed. I can use these. I can reuse them normally. They rarely tear. It's so awesome. Working with nitrile gloves, those cheap blue ones that you get at AutoZone, those things just suck. So much nicer. Highly recommend these. Okay, well, it's time to pull these out. Okay. Gonna want to get some more of those little rings, rubber rings. We actually have a new gasket set, and I am going to have to get at least 3 apex seals. I'm gonna clean that garbage up. All right, I'll clean that stuff up later. You don't need to watch me do that. Okay, I think I'm ready. Oh, I forgot to pull that one out. I think I'm ready to there we go. Let's start. Separate a little bit. Now, don't want to bang the oil filter pedestal, so I'm going to leave that side alone. Careful. All right, it's starting to lift. So let's go ahead and get this in here and carefully. There we go. Yeah, it's coming off. Try not to get this all over myself. All right, let me make some room. So hopefully I have a place to put this. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to move that down. There we go. All right, Woodruff key. Right there, don't forget that. And off it comes. And oh. Okay. And I think I'm just going to lay this down like so. Okay. All right, just at that side. All right, good. All right. Let's take a look at what we got. Okay. See if I can't lift that rotor out, and I can. There goes apex seals. Okay, I'm going to set these over here. Broken apex seal. All right. And you can see right here what happened. That and that, the bolt got sucked in and smashed in there, and it pinched this apex seal down, pinched the rotor, so now the apex seal will not extend out. So this rotor is shot, which I expected. Luckily, we have more rotors, so we're just going to set this aside, and I'll deal with the seals later. Fish out springs, apex seals, side seals, and I'm looking at the housing, and I'm thinking it looks pretty good. Looks like I got another broken seal, broken spring. Well, no, it's not broken. It's just this part of the apex seal springs. Okay, so looking okay so far. I'm going to set these seals down right over here. So I'm going to have to pull these dowel pins out. So go ahead and clean up my hands a little bit and grab one of these rods. Grab a rod, any rod, and hook it, pull it out. One. That is not a rod. That is. There you go. And out it comes. All right. Sweet. Set that aside because I'll need it again. So let me have a look. This is glued on to the next housing, so I'm going to have to do that. And pull it off. Let's have a look, shall we? And it looks like I did get some damage on here. A little bit of a gouge here. I didn't lose chrome, but there is a gouge, a small one. And there's actually a fairly significant one here and here. And that was also expected. It's pretty deep too. This was a cheap build, and you know what? I plan on reusing this housing anyway. It's actually not chipping anywhere, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, gonna have to use it, so we will. It's not as bad as it could have been. So I will set this down right over here. So let's go and clean that up. This looks good. Somewhere. Oh, look at this. Carbon apex seal. Put that aside. All right. Yeah, we're taking this off. Next. And to do that, looks like I'm just going to try to pull on it and see if it'll come off. No, we need to take out this guy right here. So to do that, I think I need to undo these. No, yeah, that's gonna, yeah, so we're gonna have to what? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe the eccentric shaft down a bit because I'm going to have to grab onto this thing while I try to pull the housing, this housing off. And it's going to be heavy and slippery, and ideally it would be good to have a second person to do this part, but I don't have a second person with me, so let me see if I can even grab that. Okay, I can. You know what? I'm going to use this because I think, yeah, this got leather on there. It's going to hang on to it and not let go. So let me go ahead and see if I can't. I probably shouldn't be doing that from the oil filler neck, but let me try to break that loose a little bit with the pry bar, just kind of. Or maybe just hammer it with a hammer. Alright, let's do it over here. Okay, it's starting to break loose. And let's get the pry bar in there and see if I can't coax it loose a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And I think it's going to come loose. There we go. There we go. Come on, you break loose. Alright, that'll do it. Alright, maybe we need a little more coaxing. There we go. Oh, yeah. I wonder if, I don't know if that's even going to matter. Oh, well, yeah, that probably helps. Maybe getting these things out will make it easier to pull it off. Maybe. Okay, starting to, this one doesn't want to come out. Anymore. Probably because this housing is flat. Well, we're going to see if this will come out now. There we go, it's starting to come loose. Alright. Okay. This would be a lot easier without that. Okay. And it's coming out. All right. This dowel pin is being a pain in the ass. There we go. Okay. Set that back down in. And carefully. Ooh. Ah, finally. We'll set that down here. Oh. Okay. Clean that up a little bit. And get that out. All right. All right. Eccentric shaft looks okay. I'm just going to set that down right here. Now, second rotor, let's go and pull out the engine parts I dropped in here. Let's go and take out that seal, this one. I'm just gonna side seals. Lovely. All right. Well, the apex seals came out, as did some of the side seals. Most of them. Okay, this rotor looks to be in okay condition. I'll take a closer look at it, but I have no reason to think it isn't in good condition since it made good compression before I took it apart. Trying to keep all these apex seals in order because I will probably be reusing some of them. Okay, there's one on the floor. Spring, anyway. Set that there. Let's go and pull off the housing. This housing looks great. There are no issues with this one at all, as I expected. Okay, I'll set that one aside. Okay, and that leaves what's left. Corner seals, O-rings, side seals, springs. Okay, I think we're good. All right, I think we're okay. All right, set these aside. Now inventory those later. All right, let's go ahead and sop up some of the coolant. So when I turn it on its side, it doesn't continue to make a mess. Oh, it will. They always do. There's not much I can do about it. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this thing over. Let's try to make sure the pan is under it. Okay. Set that aside. Okay. Let me roll that out of the way. Let's move the hammer. Move this. And let's tilt her over. And let her drain. Now I'm not going to bother to take this off, since our plan is just to stack them all back on with a new seal set and get the thing going again. So got the engine apart, and as I suspected, I have some damage to one housing. Hopefully we're able to use it. I'm going to confer with a couple of friends of mine and see, what the prognosis is. It did make good compression on one stroke, so I feel like we can probably still use this. It is a cheap build, and I really am not looking to spend a lot of money on housings right now. And if it'll get me another year or two, we'll probably just go with that. Going to get a new rotor. We have one, so that's not a problem. New apex seals for that rotor, and a new soft seal set for the entire engine. Then put it all back together again and put it back in the car. So putting the engine back together again is going to be the next one. So we'll see you then.